Make a move, make it matter.
Yeah.
Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Peace. Welcome to Student Enrollment, episode number 4. I'm Brother Khalif.
I'm Brother Kayla X.
All right. Today's topic is brotherhood. What is it and why is it important? I feel as though, I think that we have to look at the state of the black man in America and ask ourselves some pretty tough questions. Why are we at odds with each other? And how can we actually win? And I think the thing is to raise the average person to do better and get out of the worship of the greater ones of us, so we can all be free. Why do you think brotherhood is important?
Well, I want to say this. Excuse me. Thank you for inviting me out on the show.
It's love.
I like this, and I support what you're doing.
We doing.
I like that even better. Come on, man. I like that. Why do I feel brotherhood is important? Well, specifically amongst black men, we all we got. We ain't got nobody else.
Sure.
We hate it all over the planet. And with that being said, we don't have time to be beefing and arguing amongst one another. We got to come together and actually make a change for ourselves, our community, our nation, and our planet. And it starts with us. It begins with us. So that's my answer on
that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We actually, that's one of the things that that's gonna be in the work soon. I'm preparing a curriculum for like a rites of passage. I know that we have to re-educate ourselves as men and re-educate our children and teenagers, because we can't keep taking these L's out here.
Come on now.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous because we can win. When I say we can win, I mean we can make our community better, and individually we can make ourselves better. Like I just bought a land bank home, and I realized that like I actually want to make. Let me rewind it. I went to Ann Arbor, and we went to a farmer's market into this like shopping area, and it was this knitting shop, and then my wife saw like a nice little sweater, and she asked the person who worked there. She was like, "Hey, can I get this sweater? How much is this sweater?" And the guy was like, "Oh, we don't sell that. We'll teach you how to do it, and we just show you what can be done by putting that on display." And I was like, "That's the first time I ever heard nothing like that."
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
I mean, but we don't have places like that.
That's true.
I mean, we don't. I just thought, I was like, that's wild. Like, so she definitely gonna sign up for knitting, because that was dope. And then I thought of from my perspective, I'm like I want to make tables. I want to make for the house. I want to make cabinets for the house. I want to make dressers for the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you really want to do that?
Yeah.
You enjoy that?
No, but I mean, let's be real. Like, how many hours would it take for me to learn that? Like, I can donate 50 hours to learn how to woodwork.
Wow.
Like, my son has a delayed speech, and he go on Wednesdays and Friday. He goes to speech therapy, and with 4 hours, he went from saying nothing to saying mommy and daddy and all of that.
Within 4 hours.
And he goes 30 minutes.
Wow.
And I know you've been working out, and just with like 6 hours a week, you can change your whole body.
Wow. I didn't know that. I know that.
just with 6 hours a week. And I'm like, I'm like, man, we can, I can learn woodworking. Just 50, I can put in 50 hours or 50 to 100 hours, and I'll have that for life.
Wow. That's true.
And I think we have to think about things that way. You know, I don't look at it like, oh, it's so arduous tasks to do. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty smart. I can catch on to things, and I can measure. And really, I just got to worry about not cutting off my fingers or something like that.
That's about it. But other than that, you're good to go.
But I'm looking around, and like that knitting spot, I don't see places where I can bring some wood and I can learn how to make a table. Where they're not going to make one for me. They're just going to be like, we'll show you how to make a table. And like, can you imagine when your car breaks down and you can tow it to a place, and you can just rent their tools.
And you fix it yourself.
Wow,
that's beautiful. And it actually go back to what our teacher taught us. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Yes, sir.
So that I like that. I like that, brother.
I mean, it keep you ignorant. Like, because you don't have to do nothing. Like, I'm like 36, so like I understand craftsmanship. You know, we don't have craftsmanship no more. Everything is basic. I remember I was driving my '99 Cadillac, and I don't have it no more. But I was getting married on my wedding day. I spent out and hit the median. It was made of metal. You couldn't tell I hit anything.
Wow.
But I know if you hit them cars, you tap it, it's a wrap.
You talk about newer brand
yeah,
cars. That's true. That's very true.
You just tap it, it's a wrap, because they had like craftsmanship to where anything, because people weren't ignorant. So you couldn't just produce anything and they'll take it.
Okay.
I mean, even in the music is more ignorant because people are ignorant. So they can make anything with a vibe and you bounce to it. You don't actually have to have content. Before, you had to have content. You wouldn't just listen to anything. Wow. And now we've been programmed, or I would say deprogrammed to such a low level where you just need the vibes. You don't need a content or anything. You just need the. You don't even need to like hear what they're saying.
You just, like you said, you just need the vibe.
Yeah, you just need the vibe.
And a good beat, you good to go. You would make it just like that. That's true. That's very true, brother.
And that's because like men ain't men. I was thinking about Michael Jackson, and Duke can beatbox a whole song in his mouth. If you ever like looked at some of his old videos, he could do the whole song in his mouth. So any producer couldn't come around and be like, no, this like, no, I want it to sound just like this. You got Stevie Wonder who can play a bunch of instruments, Prince who can play a bunch of instruments, and now you just have people who can just rap and do nothing else.
That's it.
And barely do that.
Wow.
Because we ignorant. Quality in food has went down.
Yeah.
People can't cook. There used to be a time where you wouldn't go out to eat because your mom and your grandma just made better food. So if you did go out to eat, that food had to be so good that it will pull you away from your table.
Wow. That's deep, bro. That's deep.
I mean, we all make better hamburgers than McDonald's.
That's true.
But you just so ignorant and so lazy that you just rather wait in line for 90 seconds and let somebody give you some meat that's still bleeding.
And that's a shame. That's a shame.
But you disarmed. Like I said, like if we're going back to what I said, if you knew how to make a burger, they couldn't sell you anything. And not just you, but I said if the average man, the average woman knew how to cook, everything would have to go up because you just wouldn't take anything.
So what do you think? How did we become so dependent like that?
I think the male has been taken from the home. and the male provides structure. So now you got all these chaotic children, all these chaotic men, to where you got a man being so emotional that if you step on his shoe, he willing to kill you. If you bump him, he can't control himself. He wanted it emotionally. A bump emotionally affects you. Like, and we get that from our moms because our moms raised us, and she didn't mean to put that in us, but she's not a man. She's not a man. And like we were talking about earlier with the it's the like that's why brotherhood, like we men, we tend to judge each other by how well we do a thing. And that's why you need a brotherhood, because women choose to judge the whole person. They're like, that person ain't nothing.
But the way a man judges is by how good you do a thing.
Yeah. Like even when we talked about, even when you listen to people talk about Samuels, they be like, I don't like what he's saying, but he be right. It's always what he do. I don't like the way he talk to women, but he right.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Because when I did hear him, I thought he came off a little too aggressive. But I don't listen to him enough to say if he's right. But I can see what you're saying on that.
Well, Sister Shahrazad Ali said that the black woman is the only woman in America that doesn't get held accountable for anything. So when you hold her accountable, think about it. Like, what you gonna say to her? You know, you be like, I get you some food, and the white man be like, I got EBT for. She be like, I got EBT, I'm cool. You be like, you can come stay with me, and she be like, I got Section 8, I'm cool. So she don't got to go through you for nothing. So what that leave you? For sex. So now you just a sexual object. And
to a woman, to the woman.
Yeah. Listen to the music.
Literally, yeah.
You're not a protector. You're not a provider. You're not a maintainer.
You're an object.
You're an object. And that's why when I talked about kill a male, spare the female, like we objects to each other at this point.
Wow.
So it's no family at all. So if I'm an object to my woman and she an object to me, what are the children?
Wow, I like that. You going deep.
I mean, they just wild.
So you feel like the man has to take control of his household again to get everything back in order.
Who could cause more of a problem? 100 women standing in the corner, or 10 men?
Ask that one more time.
I said, who would cause more problem? 100 women or 10 men?
That's a good question that I can't answer, but I'm gonna go with the 10 men.
I mean, that's the problem. They had 1 million men march, and then they had 1 million women march. Naturally, the woman isn't put out front, so you don't see her as dangerous, but you see the man as dangerous. True. And if you destroy brotherhood, you destroy the whole danger.
There you go.
Because all you got to do is divide and conquer. That's just it.
And that's it. And they won.
It's divide and conquer.
Wow.
It's the second I stop looking at you as a brother, the second we lose. Because all I got to do is dangle a woman or money or food in between us, and you go on your way.
And that's a shame. That makes me sick.
But that's why I was saying I'm putting together a rites of passage program to where we can understand. Like, you got to understand, like we don't even hug as men.
Man.
We don't even cry. Like, women can, that's how they can be like that in relationships, because they can go to their girls and cry about what happened. you got to take all of that in, and you don't get do nothing but get madder and madder and madder at yourself.
That's true.
When it's okay to cry.
That's true.
Like you can't, you so stunned and dead emotionally that you can't, like, it's cathartic sometimes to cry. Like you gotta let that out. You got the world on your shoulders.
There you go.
And you can't even like shed a tear.
You gotta release that pressure. And this, I would, me personally, I cry.
You should.
Just not in the open. I don't cry in the open. I don't cry in front of everybody. But one person I also wouldn't cry in front of is, well, I ain't gonna say one person. I would never cry in front of the women. A man should never show weakness in front of a woman. Never. Never. We don't do that. If you gotta cry, you cry on your own time to Allah. Or you cry to your brother and to Allah. But you never show weakness in front of a woman. Never. Not saying it's a bad. That's just in my opinion how I'm looking at the situation. I think it's very bad to show weakness in front of a woman, because how could she submit to something that is showing weakness? You see what I'm saying?
Did you know submission just means agreement?
I didn't actually. I didn't.
I mean, we take it in a like. We use it as subjugate. That's how we use it. But God don't subjugate you. You just agree with him. He keep putting you in a mess till you agree with him.
Wow. That makes perfect sense.
Even if you take Jonah, nobody talk mess to God like Jonah. Like he just had a foul mouth talking all that junk to God.
That's true.
I was like, all right. I'm gonna just put you in the well. Talking all that stuff, 3 days in the well. He finally prayed and he's like, look, you're right. All right. I agree with you. I can do this. Because he didn't want to save the city.
But he was being forced.
Nah, he wasn't. He could have died in that well. But God pushed you to agreement. Okay. I like that. So the fact that we consider crying weakness, that's not weak. I like Common has said this. He said, even when I'm weak, I said, knowing when I'm weak is when I'm really being strong. And like you can cry and still kick some ass.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're not breaking down like she. But the thing about it is like, look at, you said I wouldn't show weakness in front of a woman, and the thing about a woman is she know everything about you.
That's true.
Like you damn near can't lie to a woman unless you got like a strong ass poker face, because they like your subconscious. They record everything. She'll be like, you be like, man, I just forgot to take out the trash today. She'll be like, no, this is 438th time you forgot to take out the trash.
Recording everything.
Everything. And she know you by your pattern. So you can say whatever you say out your mouth to her. She'll be like, no, but you always hurt me. Or you always there for me. Whatever path you take. So I don't think that's showing weakness. I think showing weakness to your woman is not keeping your word.
That's something to think about.
Because if you keep your word, she can't not agree with what you're going to do. That's how you cause submission, by just keeping your word.
Okay. I never thought about that.
Like I said, I think we use it. Like we don't use submission in an Afrocentric standpoint. We use it in a European standpoint where that's subjugation. Where I go into a area, kill everybody, and kill all the men and rape the women and put the children to work. And then I'm like, I submitted that area.
Okay.
When you can just get agreement. It don't have to be that way. So I don't think that's being weak, really.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And I think this kind of vibe you only get with other brothers. Because, me, my wife was trying to tell me what a man was the other day. And I said, queens don't make kings.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay.
Like kings make kings.
Not queens.
No.
Okay.
They have kings. They birth kings. But they don't make kings.
Okay. And did she go into detail?
I mean, you don't have to explain yourself after that.
She said enough.
I said enough.
There you go. Okay.
I don't have to go into detail. It was clear enough. Queens don't make kings. Kings make kings. And that's why we got to be with the brotherhood.
I agree.
So we can sharpen each other like steel.
So how do you feel like we could reconnect the brotherhood?
I just think, like I said, we have a whole rites of passage program where we start all over to like, all right, this is how you change a tire. Or this is how you read. A lot of us can't even read.
That's very true.
You got to go all the way back to reading.
Sadly, that's true.
And this is how you manage your emotions so they're not the bestie. So this is how you rise above emotions.
Into the thinking of God.
Because we got to learn that.
Man. And I feel like also we got to genuinely want for our brother what we want for ourselves. We actually have to genuinely love each other and have genuine energy towards each other, because we don't. If you go to the hood, you walking in the gas station, this a brother come out, all of a sudden we mean mugging each other. What's that about? We mean mugging. What's all that about?
I mean, we ops.
Yeah, you a damn man thing. We are. I don't know you from a can of paint. You just mean mugging me for what?
I mean, we ops. We not brothers.
I wouldn't call them ops.
I mean, because you know what it is. But if you, I seen them in the Matrix, and I think Morpheus says something along the lines of, if you don't know who the enemy is, you the enemy too.
When he was speaking to Neo.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't know who the enemy, like, no, they was talking about how Morpheus talking about how the people in the Matrix would try to stop him.
He said that they are everyone, but they are no one.
Right.
And until we unplug them from that system, that means they're still an enemy.
Yep.
So and so that's very true. That's very true. Unfortunately. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You about to say something else?
No, go ahead.
I just feel like we have to we got to work on actually loving each other.
I think that start with yourself.
Very true. Very true. But we got to want for our brother what we want for ourselves. If I want to be successful in life, I want the same for you. I genuinely hope this podcast explode. I genuinely want that for you, because I genuinely care for you, and I genuinely want you to be successful on whatever journey you decide to take. And from there, boom, off that foundation, we can keep going. We can just keep going.
That's true. But I think we say that in a word and not in deed.
There you go.
And I've been learning that sometimes when you think better, you still act the same. So you have a cognizant dissonance going on to where you can identify behavior in others, but you can't identify it in yourself.
Wow. Oh, man.
Because you see it differently. Because you're like, oh, that's not me. But yeah, that's you. Because you're thinking on a higher level, but you're not acting on a higher level.
Wow.
You see people all the time. I should drink more water. They know that.
But they don't do it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So they'll tell you and tell everybody, yo, I gotta drink more water. But you're not doing it because you're not putting yourself in the environment to do it. Because you keeping yourself in a bad environment, so your habits will stay the same.
That's true.
Like if your habit is to go by the store and get whatever unhealthy, you're gonna have to stop going to that store. Because like on another podcast, I was stating like what you willing to give up to get what you want. Wow. Like sometimes you're gonna have to give up a whole mind state.
Wow.
A whole mindset.
Just to get to wherever you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like even with weight, you might have to be plant-based for a second.
Yeah. Very true.
But we can't. And like my wife was talking about she's studying some book, I forget what the name of it, but she was talking about thankfulness. Like this junk you putting into your body, is that practicing thankfulness? Like every time you do something you know is wrong, are you really being thankful?
Wow.
You can
going to the core of it. Okay.
It's thankful. You know, if you happy to breathe, run. Be thankful. You know, if you're happy to drink water. Be thankful. Drink a smoothie. Be thankful. I think it becomes like we have a culture of consumption to where everything is, like I said, like since we don't have a brotherhood, our father didn't tell us how to do this. So how you gonna be a husband? Who taught you how to be a husband? Who taught you how to be a brother? Who taught you how to be a friend?
Okay.
Other kids? So you don't even know how to be.
Because you have no examples in front of you.
Who made you?
And with that being said, that's why I look at our teacher so much. Because he is that example in front of us. To me, you know what I'm saying? When I look at him and I study him, he's that example of true manhood, which I've been looking for all my life because I was raised by my mother. I didn't have a true male. I didn't have a true man in front of me. And I was looking for that. And I found that in my teacher. And with him being married and him being a father, not only over a household, but over a nation, dealing with us. You know, we difficult. We difficult to deal with.
Niggas.
Exactly. So for him to have the strength to deal with us, man, that's true manhood. That's true man. He knows something about manhood, and he knows something about keeping his emotions in check. He knows that. And he proves it daily.
He said, I love you more than you hate yourself.
Damn.
Can you really look at your brother and tell him, you got a gun to your head? I love you more than you hate yourself. Like, a lot of us don't got that level. But that is a true example, but it's so far away from who we are that we don't have goalposts. So, like, I think we should still have other people who can teach you that's closer to you how to be a man.
Agreed. And it can start with us.
Yes.
This conversation should not go past our generation and to our children. But we gotta be serious as hell about that. And it start right in the household, and it start with us, point blank. And this can't go any further. We got to stop it at a certain point because it's sickening and it's embarrassing. It's flat out embarrassing. And we should, as men, we should be tired of seeing it. We should be tired of it altogether. Point blank.
I think we are tired of it.
Excuse my passion. I'm sorry.
That's cool, man.
I got a little upset.
I think we are tired of it, but we don't know what to do.
Wow.
Because the My people are dead for their lack of knowledge. And how will they know unless I send them a teacher?
Unless they have a teacher, unless he be sent. Go ahead.
So, and that don't have to mean, that can be you. You can continue. You can document your journey, and you can continue to document your journey on your weight loss.
Wow.
You can be an example to many, to not just the people in your neighborhood, but or your family and friends. But the internet connects you to everybody.
That's true.
You can be an example to millions, thousands. And we don't put that kind of example. We flex though. We want that to be an example. we example how much we cap.
Yep.
Like for real, I was thinking of the definition of youth, and I came up with the ability to discover truth in real time makes you youthful.
The ability to discover truth in real time.
Yep.
Makes you youthful. I like that.
You know what front mean?
Like you capping, in a way.
What? That's not the word now.
Okay.
Now I'm speaking a dead language. When I say fronting, I'm showing my age.
Because we don't use that anymore.
If I'm youthful, I just switch over to capping.
Okay. I like that.
If I'm youthful, you ain't gonna catch me with no Pelly. You know, no iceberg.
That's true.
Even if I like it, it's gonna show my age. That's how you stay youthful. You have to be current. You have to discover truth.
And keep up with the modern time.
No, every time you discover it, it's the same though. But it has to be constantly discovered. You have to, every day, you got to wake up and go to work.
There you go.
You don't get paid for yesterday.
Come on now.
You only get paid for today. You got to discover that. You make a good decision yesterday, it don't carry over to today. You got to make another good decision today.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And to tomorrow, you got to make another good decision.
Yes, sir.
And that's progress. The ability to constantly take successful steps. That's progress.
And every man should be constantly training and conditioning himself to meet and overcome all obstacles in his path.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You know, our teacher gave us that. I have to put that on there.
Yes, sir. But we tend to make a correct step and 10 steps backwards.
Damn.
And say, I made progress. But you didn't. I'll order something bad and get a Diet Coke and call that progress. When you overall made a bad decision. But you sprinkled something in there thinking you made a good decision. You have to continually make the right step. You can't keep making mistakes. Mistake.
So let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Is that exactly what you just said? Is that considered being righteous?
Rephrase your question.
Like you said, you got to continuously make the right decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Is that considered being righteous?
Guide us on the right path.
Okay. That was a genuine question. Okay, it just hit me.
The path of those who have bestowed favors. Like, you got to think about that. It's no like the right path isn't even a mystery no more. If you want to figure out the right path, just go online. There's plenty of people who did it before you.
That's true.
There's plenty of people.
That's true.
If I recently started dressing better. You know, I had to come to the conclusion that I had to give up what I thought was fly.
Mm.
It wasn't. But I had to give up. So I consulted YouTube. And they got a bunch of different people who can teach you how to dress modern.
Mm.
And you you settle on the best part of everything. You chew up the meat and spit out the bones.
Okay.
So you can go on the right path if you want to. It's just gonna take some work. And you have to continually do it. And you don't like I was listening to this other podcast. You heard of Pretty Ricky?
The singer?
It's a group. You young.
Yeah, I know. I know who brothers it is. I know who they are.
It's like three brothers.
Yeah, I know who they are. Okay.
So Spectacular. He was on a podcast. I'm like, I ain't about to watch that. Pretty Ricky guy. But I was bored at work, and I was like, let me just go ahead and click it. Like, dude is a genius. He went to Harvard Business School and graduated, and he started his own business school. I wouldn't even know that. But something he said that hit me. He said the secret to success is three things for him. He said persistence, consistency, and networking.
Mm.
And when we talk about growth, that's persistence. That's just the effort. Consistence is having an effort with it was constantly doing it. So you having a good effort every day. Mm. That's persistence and consistency.
Mm.
And then when you sprinkle on top networking, you're going persistence and consistency gonna put you on the radar. And next thing you know, somebody gonna see you. Mm. And now you gotta know how to network.
Okay. And I like that. That's almost like basic mathematics.
Yes.
That's like basic mathematics. Wow. Okay.
And we struggle with consistency a lot. Like, I've been here like 4 weeks straight. Like, and I gotta pay to come here every week.
Wow.
Consistently.
Wow.
So I know consistency is good, but persistence is how hard I go. Mm. So if I go hard every episode, I'm going to get better and better and better.
There you go.
And then, like I said, I bring in a network.
Mm. Okay.
So now I can spread. If got good chemistry with you, you got good chemistry with me.
And we got good chemistry with others.
Yeah.
Spread from there.
If I can network with you, I can access your network.
Mm.
So now I know who I know, and then I know who you know.
I like that.
But we don't network because we ops. Like, I don't know that dude.
Mm. And I can see also vanity. We want personal gain. Personal gain. Yeah. That plays a very huge role in how we deal with one another. Everybody wants to be on top of the next person. Don't nobody want to work together no more. We live in this individualistic society and mindset. Nobody wants to co-op anymore. Nobody wants to do it together. And that's why, with us being black men, I don't look at the next black man as my competition. I don't do that. I got enough competition in the world. When I come outside, and I got to go to the gas station when I leave this place. I got to go. More than likely, I'm going to stop at a gas station that's run by the Chaldeans or the Arabs, since we West, right? Yeah, it's probably ran by the Arabs. That's my competition. The Chaldean is my competition. If we want competition that bad, because we do a lot of competing with one another. If we want competition, there's real competition out there. But you don't compete with your brother. We all we got. We all we got. We don't have nobody else. So we got to pull together. We don't have a choice. And in fact, don't even worry about it. You'll be forced. Don't worry about it. We'll be forced. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say it like that. Excuse me. I get a little passionate sometimes. But
you don't have to apologize for your masculinity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we got enough competition in the world, and so what I like doing is pretty much what you're doing, networking with other brothers, and trying to put us all on the platform, man, so we could really do something for ourselves and our community.
So it's like you said, like if you don't know your enemy, you're fighting with yourself. You gotta fight. You cannot fight. It's just part of it. God didn't make you that way. You struggle against something. And if it's not an actual enemy, you make it food, you make it sex, you make it whatever. You're going to pick a struggle. And it's going to be hard either way. Choose your heart. So
That's true.
Choose your heart. Good health, bad health. Choose your heart.
Because it's hard either way.
Rich, poor. Choose your heart. Successful, unsuccessful. Choose your heart. That's what we got. Like I said, it's really about showing and teaching and training each other on what a man is, because we don't know, and because we don't set the standard, the woman has set the standard. And that's where they are right now.
They setting the standard.
Because we not. Sister Shahrazad Ali was saying this in 1989. She said, the one thing women use to control men is the thing the white man takes away from men, and that's money, the black man. So now you're not a man based on being a protector, provider, maintainer. You're a man based on how much money you provide. You're not a man based on your leadership. You're not a man based on your protection. You're a man based on how much money you got. When that's not even a thing that make you a man.
That's true.
And we got to come out of that and stop giving into that. We have to be like, I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm a maintainer, and I give direction. If that's not enough, it is what it is.
I agree. I do agree. And one thing that the Jews teach their men is if you don't own any land, you're not considered a man. My teacher said that's not a bad teaching. He said it's not a bad teaching at all. So, like you said, with money in this world that we're currently in, unfortunately, we need that as bad as damn near oxygen.
Yeah.
And okay, if your wife makes more money than you, fine.
That's by design.
And that's cool, whatever. If she's making more money, that's fine. But as a man, I need to at least be able to take care of myself, her, and my children if it came down to it. I need to at least have enough money to take care of me and my whole household if it came down to it. Say if she lost her job, but she the breadwinner, she making more money, fine. But as long as I got enough to take care of me and mine, I'm good. As long as I got enough to take care of me and mine. And every man should have a craving for that.
Power.
That's our very nature. But it seems like the men of today don't even have a craving for it. You should want to get up and chase that daily. You should want to get up and chase power and dominion because that's your nature. That's who you are. And if money is a great asset in helping you attain power, go get that damn money, point blank. Now, like I said, if she make more money than you, my wife make more money than me, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. But I want to make sure I at least got enough to take care of me and I got enough money to run my household the way my household is going to be ran. Because if she can't stay in my household on my terms, then she can leave. Point blank. But like I said, if she the breadwinner, that's fine. I just want to make sure I got enough to take care of me and mine.
I don't even think her making more money make her a breadwinner. She just make more money.
That's it.
And
that's it.
I just think the way we think about this is weird. We can't keep giving in to these ideas of the Western world. It's like, inshallah. That means I'm happy God bless you. It's like we don't have a saying for that in English.
That's true.
It's like I can't, like you've never growing up walked to somebody and they did something good happen to them. You said, man, I'm happy God blessed you. Wow. And these thoughts and concepts into your mind, but you hear you hating on me. So that concept of somebody hating is in your mind more than that concept of you happy that God blessed somebody else. And even to get right back down to it, like these ideas, who gave them to you? Did your brothers give them to you? Did your father give them to you? This is why we need a good brotherhood, because we have to give each other a better idea, a superior idea. Because one of the hardest things to do is to separate mentally from what you think is real. Like I said before, are you willing to give up being a nigga to be a brother? A lot of us not. I remember Tupac, I'd rather be an Nigga so I can get high and smoke weed all day.
Wow. So you don't think we're ready?
No, we're ready. We just don't. It's a sacrifice.
To want for your brother what you want for yourself.
I don't think it's a ready. I think it's a nature. I think we're okay by nature. I think it's so much nurture in this environment. You grow up and they teach the boy, be cooperative, be gentle, be nice. They teach the woman, be strong, be independent, be determined, be driven.
Slave teaching.
So you messed up. You teaching the women masculinity, and you teaching the men femininity.
Yes, sir. By design.
I'm teaching. I have my daughter serving my son. I give her a popsicle. I give him 2 popsicles. Go give him the guy your popsicle first.
Okay.
So she not. It won't be a foreign idea for her to serve a man. It's how you teach your daughters. It's how you teach your son. I teach my son to look out for her. If you want her to be good to you, protect her.
I like that.
But
you raising them on it.
So it's not a. We get these. How old are you, brother?
23.
You get these ideas when you already grown up. So shit. We trying to run this marathon and you get water on the 24th mile. You've been parched the whole time. So that water ain't really nothing. So we get these ideas too late in life. Like I said, I don't know how to build a table, a chair, a cabinet. I should know that.
Which is true.
But we learn these ideas too late in life. So if we get them while they're young, like W.E.B. Du Bois says, easier to build strong men, than to repair broken ones. So I'm not saying that we should dismiss broken men, but most of the energy should go towards building strong men.
We should focus that more on the youth.
Yes.
I agree. I agree. I 100% agree.
And that's, like I said, that's why we need a rites of passage program to go in to our communities or just find people who just want to be better. Like you don't, like this, a man has a car, a man has a house. Like even if you just went on those two things and you spent your time, like if you single and you 18, you need to be working. Grind now.
While your body is in its youth.
No, so you can get it faster.
And that too.
You don't want to wait till you're 36 working at McDonald's to make ends meet.
Exactly.
You can do that when you're 18.
And that's why I always try to ask brothers. I ask brothers every time I see them, what do you feel like your purpose is? Because whatever your purpose is, you can make money off of that. It may not come next year. It may not come in 2 years. But eventually you can make a living off something that you actually love. It can be done.
I feel you. So the way I say it or see it, I say become an expert at something or get with the brothers. That's all you can do. You can become an expert at something or get with a team of people. Where it's like 4 or 5 of y'all and one of y'all got the vision and everybody else just executing.
I like that.
So you don't have to be like everybody's not a king. There are average people. But we can raise the average. You don't have to be low. Like right now, the average black man makes $42,000 a year.
Wow.
So if you're making $42,000 a year, you average economically. And you can be above average if you put in the work. But it's a power in knowing where you at. Like people don't seek power. It's like it's a power in knowing your limitations. So you can know where to go harder in, what not to do. So if you want to be above average economically, make twice as much. Make 80,000. It's only 15% of the population make more than 70,000.
Wow, I studied that somewhere too. I forgot where I came across that information.
And in less than 8, make more than 100,000.
And that's sad.
That's because we don't work together.
Facts. And also, I can't leave this out. I'm sorry, but the white man would never allow us to become a man in his home. He won't allow it. He will not allow it. And there would be, because they are the gatekeepers in society. Just the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it either. I wish it, and I'm not making no excuses for us. We have no excuse. But one of the reasons why we are in the position that we are in is because our enemies make sure they keep their foot on our neck. They don't want us to rise, point blank. They don't want us to rise.
We can't rise because we don't have unity.
Facts.
And it don't need to be a whole bunch. Like, could you imagine 10? If 10 men, 18, worked at Amazon, they'll be making $15 an hour.
Right.
And that's $30,000 a year. So if you get 10 men in one house and they all stay in that house, right?
Right.
10 times 30 is $300,000 a year. So four people could sacrifice their salary. So that's to feed 10 people don't need more than $120K. So now you got $180,000 a year to play with. If you just went with 10 men. And they all worked at Amazon.
And they all pulled their resources.
Yep. And four of them, that's 120,000. So 4 of them people sacrifice their checks. And they leave $180,000 to work with.
That's true.
You do that. Like it's just simple numbers.
That is.
But we make it so complicated when it's just unity.
And that's very true. That is, and I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. I do.
And that's not impossible.
It's really not. It's really not. That's like again, that's basic mathematics.
But we want to make it like we make our enemy is stronger in our mind than he is in actuality.
Yep. True.
And the greatest enemy is you.
Yes, sir.
It's myself.
Yes, sir.
And why I don't do things I think I should do. But again, that's why it's a brotherhood. If we just work together, like, you know, even with the 10,000, like even when minister say something about 10,000 fearless, if you get 10,000 people to give $100 a month, you got $1 million.
Literally, just like that.
But that's hard. Like, why? You can get if you get 100 people to give $100, that's 10K.
Yeah.
So you don't have to start with the best. Sometimes when you can't do the best thing, you do the second best thing. If you can't do the second best thing, you do the third best thing.
Okay.
You don't just do nothing. And I think that we don't know how to take good progression.
True.
So we end up stuck for a long time. And really, that's why I was saying, again, why our brotherhood is so important. To teach men what men do. You know, stuff you talk to your girl about, you need to be talking to your brothers about.
Agreed.
Because she's not going to sharpen you. I best you go to her through, I best you refine her, and when you refine her, you refine yourself.
I agree with that, bro.
That's why you can't teach a woman how to be a man, because you really just molding her to the woman. I mean, you can't teach a woman how to be. A man can't teach a woman how to be a woman, because you're basically just shaping her into what you want.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. I agree with you, bro.
That's why queens make queens. Kings don't.
I agree with you.
And we got to understand that. That's why our classes are separate for a reason.
Exactly.
And it's been that way since
we started.
African times.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the classes are separate. The women teach the women.
That is true.
And the men teach the men.
The men teach the men. Yep.
That way, ain't no debate on what's a man. The men, you matriculate through the rites of passage. The sisters know they got a man. Once you matriculate through rites of passage, you know that's a woman. You know she can cook, clean, sew, rear children, how to treat a man, act at home and abroad. You know she can do that. She went through the class.
And you went through your class.
You can protect, provide. I'm taking it the other way. You can provide money, good homes, friendships, luxury, friendships to all walks of life, justice, freedom, and equality. You went through your class.
Okay.
So you know you could do it. But the problem is we not going through things. Like, we want women to respect her, to respect us more. She can basically ask you, who made you a man? What you gonna tell her? You ask her, who made you a woman? I can cook. Who gave you a cookbook? What you mean? I said, what you mean you can cook? Like, who taught you? We think we be teaching ourselves stuff thinking we good, but we not. Somebody taught you how to tie your shoe.
Right.
You didn't just get it together.
I just figured this out on my own.
Right. You didn't even know what the shoestrings was. Somebody taught you that. Somebody taught you how to dress. Somebody taught you, whether you saw somebody and you mimicked them, that's still a teaching. Repetition is the mother of learning.
Wow. Repetition.
So you just saw some imitation and thought that was you. Because you see yourself like, you're like, I think I can do that, and you probably can't because you didn't go through what they went through.
Okay.
So you need to be taught. So that's why the brothers need to be taught how to be brothers.
Yep.
We got to teach each other how to forgive each other.
Man. it gotta be genuine. Do you genuinely care for me?
You wouldn't ask that if you were taught how.
You feel? And to be honest, I couldn't say that. I wouldn't say ask that question because you were taught. It's me personally. I was raised in a loving household. I think, you know what I'm saying. I was raised in a genuine household, and another main reason for that is because I was raised by my mother. Mm-hmm. But other than that, we were genuine. We genuinely loved one another. Everybody family should genuinely love one another. But I grew up in that type of environment. So when I go and deal with other people, I bring that same type of love that I was raised on to other people until you cross me.
So,
in a major way.
So you're saying you bring a mother's love to everywhere you go?
Not a mother's love, it's just a genuine love in general.
Who was in the house?
My mother, but also my brother and stepfather. But I'm just talking about a genuine love, me actually caring and wanting to see you prosper as with you being who you are. I don't even feel like a household could give you that. I feel like God gives you that within your very nature.
I believe that too, but we understand that the woman is your first teacher.
True.
So if anybody taught you how to love, it's your mom. Yeah. And we learned that in back on the continent that when you become a certain age, your mom, the men take the men away from the mom. Okay, because she gonna mess them up.
Agreed.
So I think what men love is like it's tough. Sometimes it's tough love. True. Sometimes it's like just get up, bro. We good.
True.
You know, and I think sometimes people want this like deep apology and this deep remorse. Like, I'm so sorry I did this to you type situation. Okay, we got like 2 minutes. You're not old enough for this. So sometimes older women, you know how they apologize? They be like, you hungry?
Okay. I haven't experienced that, but okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's older.
Okay.
That's literally like, yo, the woman would be mad, or my mom would be, my mom would be mad at my dad,
right? And
my dad would be like, and then my mom would come in like, you hungry? You know, that's okay. We cool now.
Okay.
We don't have the same language, so like I'm saying, like you have to know what genuine means, because if you take it from your perspective, and we don't share experiences and share perspectives, so genuine can be different for so many people. But we got like 30 seconds left, so thanks for coming on the podcast.
I appreciate you for inviting me.
You know, I hope you can keep coming.
Most definitely.
And keep getting into topics. Like I said, keep getting into brotherhood, sharpening each other like swords. And that's Student Enrollment. I'm Brother Khalif.
Brother Kalen X.
Peace.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
Are y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.